And he has the keys of Hades and death, which things he gives them instructions that, hey, write the things which you've seen, the things which are, the things which will take place after this. So there you have it. What's the outline of this book? Here it is. Write the things which you have seen. What did he see? The things we just read. That's what John saw. Then the things which are. What is that? That's the church. The church is currently, we're in the church age. And the things which will take place after this. After the church comes the tribulation, or the day of the Lord. That's what comes afterwards. The mystery of the seven stars, which you saw in my right hand, and the seven golden lampstands. The seven stars are the angels, that is the pastors of the seven churches. And the seven lampstands, which you saw, are the seven churches. Okay? So God now sets the table for what John is going to do. John has already explained this. He wrote it. You and I just went through it. And now he's about to do some other things. He's about to go through here and give us some explanation of these churches and what God is doing today. Now, let's take a look, and I think it's this one. Yeah, this is an overview. This is a pretty good overview of what was happening in the churches. And I'm going to go through each one of these as we go to each one of the churches in more depth to give you some background. But basically, you had these churches, and they were all in cities. Ephesus was a large, influential city, thriving church that had challenges with pride and diminishing love. Smyrna was located in Izmir. Now, Izmir, again, is in Turkey. Was known for its persecution, but the church remained steadfast under this persecution. I'm going to show you why they were being persecuted. Pergamos, it was situated in Pergamum. This church struggled with the presence of the doctrine of Balaam and those who followed Jezebel, but also they had the Nicolaitans there. Thyatira, city known for its guilds, that is, you would call them unions today, but that's what they had. They had these guilds, and the church challenges a woman who came up as Jezebel. And you got to remember, go back and look at the character of Jezebel and her offspring. Listen, her offspring was worse than her. See, there was somebody that was worse than Jezebel. Yeah, Jezebel's daughter. Her name was Anta. Oh, that's gonna come to me when I start again. But she married the king over in Judah, and she literally tried to stop the when she got really close. She was one child away from cutting off the line of David, and the priest hid the line, that last child. Oh man, if it wasn't for that priest, Athaliah was her name. That was Jezebel's daughter. Oh, what a wicked woman. So that's what you see when he says the woman Jezebel, and I will kill her offspring. He was talking about Athaliah and the things that that wicked woman do. We're going to get into that when we get into Thyatira. And what did they do? They allowed and teach some doctrine that seduced the children away from the true scriptures. Then we had Sardis, which was a wealthy, influential city. And because of their wealth, they were just dead. That is, the works that they were producing was just, it was nothing. All right. And they need to wake up and be vigilant. Then Philadelphia was a thriving city, a rich city. Again, was commended for their faithfulness in 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 the face of external pressures from the Roman Empire. And I'll explain that too. The last church was Laodicea, and you have to understand what God meant. And I'll show you this lukewarm thing. can I just say it the way it is? Most people get that wrong. Why? Because there was certain things about the location of Laodicea. There was a place right here called Hierapolis. I think that's how you spell it. Forgive me if I'm spelling it wrong. And then there was Laodicea. How you spell that? Laodicea. And then there was Colossae. All right. And this happens to be in the mountains. And what that it's a play on location. And the people who was in Laodicea would have fully understood what Jesus was talking about when he said hot and cold water. All right, because that's what it had to do with. It had nothing to do with essentially I'm gonna spew you out of your mouth. No, when we get to it, you fully understand it when I explain it. Anyhow, but that's really where we're going, and that's what we're gonna be talking about when we come back. So I really want to just come here, give you the overview of what we was doing, show you where the churches were located, show you, and this is the direction that God is going to give us in following. So it goes from Ephesus up to Smyrna, over to Pergamum, down to Thyatira, down to Sardis, down to Philadelphia, and it ends up down here to Laodicea. And I don't know if you can see it, but notice right here, here's Colossae, where Paul sent the letter of the Colossians. Notice how close it is below Laodicea. And there was another city right above it in the mountains. And I'll get into those details when we get back. Now, when we come back, let me just do it now. And that way we'll be past the introduction to Ephesus. Well, no, because I'm going to have to make some additional comments and think I'm going to go just a little bit too far and be into this thing when we start. So let me do that. Let me come back. I'm going to stop and I'm going to come back here and we'll pick up in Revelation chapter 2, start talking about the churches and all the different things that God is going to mention to us in the church. All right.